Hey guys, Mr. Happy here, and guess what? I'm home from the North American Fan Festival in Las Vegas, and boy, do I have a ton of things to tell you and show you from the final day that I was there. Technically, I'm home on a Monday. It was yesterday, Sunday. Keep that in mind. So I'm sure that there may have been some more dissections that have gone on. I've been traveling, and I've just been sleeping and traveling pretty much ever since the end of it. So I haven't checked out Reddit. I haven't checked out any of the usual news sites to see if there's anything new. So I'm gonna strictly be talking about things that I experienced on the final day of the first ever North American Fan Festival for Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Before I get started, if I sound a little out of breath, it's because A, I've been standing and moving all weekend, and I'm still standing right now to do this video. And second, because I just recorded about 18 minutes worth of footage, and then my headset turned off like 10 minutes in, so I'm re-recording it. Sorry, just letting you guys know. And also, before I get started, I want to thank everyone who came out to the event, supported Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, first of all. Second of all, I want to thank everybody who came up to me, who shook my hand, who asked for an autograph, who took a picture with me. I loved it. All of it. It was phenomenal. I also would like to sincerely apologize to at least 3 people. I'm not going to name them right now. They know who they are, and I know who they are. At least 3. There may have been more people who tried to get a picture with me or tried to get an autograph or something. I don't know what they wanted. I had an emergency in the middle of the 3rd day, and it caused me to have a bit of an emotional breakdown when I was sitting waiting for the closing ceremony. So they kind of just, I couldn't talk to them even at all. I couldn't take a picture or anything. I was just in my own kind of place, and I really want to apologize. I know it's like people might say I shouldn't be apologizing, man. You were just having a tough time right then. You had an emergency, but I mean, I feel bad about it now. I felt bad about it then, so I do want to give a formal apology. So with the sad part out of the way, let's get back to the awesome part. So, final day of the North American Fan Festival. Got quite a lot to talk about. Got the live letter, the costume contest, the closing ceremonies, and my experiences on the showroom floor for the final day. Not gonna lie, don't have much to say about the showroom floor. Day 2, I pretty much got all that out of the way. Day 3, I will say, I did try the Extreme Primals twice. Did not win either of them. Magomag both times, I-90 and no shirt. Bit of a scuffle, or not scuffle, but I had a bit of a problem with the I-90 because we didn't really coordinate what our party composition was going to be, if you get what I mean. And the no shirt one, I'm not exactly sure what went wrong, but regardless, I didn't beat it. But I would like to thank both my great friends Mel and Mike. They gave me a poster, the Extreme Primal poster, just so I would have one. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. They also gave me the badge from the archery. They had a live archery section where they taught you how to shoot a bow, and you got to keep the paper. I would have liked the paper, but they at least got me the little archer class badge thing that they gave out. So again, thank you guys so much. I also got a ton of merch. They helped me get some merch because the merch line was so long, and I had friends who were in VIP. So they helped me get some of these things that I'm going to show you right now. One of them is a shirt I'm wearing right now. It's a Gaius Van Belsar shirt. There you go. Just showing you off both sides. Luckily, that's why I have the headset on. By the way, this time I have music playing in here so it doesn't shut off 10 minutes in. So hopefully we can do this all in one take. You know what? I'll do this stuff first. We have the Delivery Moogle plush. It even has the little pouch back here. It even opens for realism. See? I like it. He also comes with a little minion right here on the tag itself. It's on the very inside, but gonna have that minion very, very soon. Also got the Art of Eorzea book. This also comes with a minion, but these are the kind of books that I love. I love these kinds of things. I might do a video going through it real quick just to show it off, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, it's just an art book. If it was part of something more, maybe. As far as I'm concerned, just showed it off. You could probably find half of the images on like Reddit or something anyway, let's be real. Wall scroll. Here we go right here. Wall scroll. That's a nice one. My buddy Ryoku got this one for me. He also got me this, by the way. I had multiple VIP friends get me multiple things. So Ryoku, Mike, thank you guys so much. I'm going to be hanging this up, but I'll tell you guys more about that in another video. So let me roll this up real quick. You know what? I'm just going to lay it across my bed. I'm going to walk over here, guys, because I don't want to roll it up and mess it up. Let's be honest. I don't know how to fold, roll, whatever. So anyway, I also have some shirts here on the chair. It doesn't look like it because all the shirts are black. So the first shirt I'm going to show you guys is the polo, the Meteor Survivor polo. So here we go. look at that. This is the back of the polo right here. Looks great. I'm going to fold this real quick, and we're going to show you the next shirt. Now, I already showed you guys my I Beat Odin shirt, but I put it here anyway. Oh, and I just dropped all the other shirts. You probably saw that last one right there. Just in case you haven't seen it already, the I Beat Odin t-shirt for, well, beating Odin. Silence ain't Harrier. When it comes out, extreme mode, just silence it. You'll be good. So I showed you the guy's shirt. And then I just want to do another shout out to Mike. Mike won this for me at, I believe, E3. Then I Beat Leviathan shirt. It's not from the event. It's not from the fan festival. This is just a live shout out. He won this for me. He won himself one too. But he won this one for me at E3. And I really want to thank him for that because it's, well, I didn't earn that shirt, but I at least earned the Odin shirt. But it's still cool to have that shirt in my collection. I already showed you guys in the earlier days all the little other things they gave, you know, the bag, the tattoos, the little charger thing. Those I still all have. I'm not going to show them to you again. Just going to move on with the video. Already 6 minutes in. So, showroom floor, like I was saying, Extreme Primals. That's how I got off on that whole tangent, which is something that I do all the time. Let's be real here. You know, didn't get to beat them, but I still got the poster. Didn't get to do archery, and that was really all I tried to do for the whole day. Did the live quest, which was actually, it was a fun little group event, but it wasn't anything too bad. It was really there just to get you to socialize with people to get the event done. The hardest thing was the last cipher, even though like the hint was very obvious what it meant. Just having to Google an Eorzean dictionary, just the Eorzean alphabet, I should say, just to try and figure out what it was. It was pretty simple, though, and it was very fun to do. Other than that, didn't really do much. Sat around for a lot. Tried to stay off my leg today. A lot of walking. My right ankle is a little bit injured, so I'm even standing here right now. Hurts quite a bit. And so then we have the 3 panels that were today. The live letter was first. And that's probably what I'm going to talk about the most right now because it was a lot of information that we were expecting to get and some surprises that were thrown in there as well. I mean, come on, it's the fan festival. They got to throw in some surprises. So, first thing, final coil. I'm going to rattle off a few facts that we know about it. Okay, so the final coil, it will be the final coil of Bahamut. You will need to beat turn 9 in order to access it. The second coil of Bahamut will be put in the duty finder. For the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, it'll only be available to pre-made 8-mans, but it'll be in the duty finder along with the savage difficulties. But after they've let some time go on, then they will open it up to the general duty finder solo queue. And you'll gradually get echo over the weeks 5, 10, 20%, whatever they decide to go to. They also said that for certain coils, specifically the second coil, the turn 2 of the second coil Bahamut with Melusine, that the one nerf they named was that the petrification effect from there, if you get hit while, you will still get petrified for the full duration apparently, but if you won't get instantly killed if you get petrified, which some would argue is even might make the fight even harder, because you know sometimes it's nice if you get petrified and die, that unless you're in the tank of course, that, you know, being swift cast raised back up gets you right back into the fight, whereas being petrified for a minute is a totally different story. But regardless, they said they are going to be doing that. You're still going to have to pay attention, which I think is a fair enough change just to make it not insta-kill. They also said that third coil, and this is a big one, guys. This is big news right here, because this is something that you guys have been asking for the longest time. The developers are finally implementing it. In patch 2.45, even if you've beaten the raid for the week, third coil, final coil, you will be able to help others beat it as well. You'll just be locked out of loot. Now, that's something people have been asking for a very long time, ever since first coil came out. Ever since the game came out, that's been a requested thing. 2.45, you'll be able to do it. Let's say I beat final coil for the week, yay, and my friends are like, yo, we got 7 and our DPS is away on vacation, man, we can't raid this week. I can be like, well, if he's not going to be here, why don't I just help you? The only thing is that by bringing that extra person in, the loot, the amount of loot you get is going to scale. So, for example, I'm one person, the other 7 people haven't beaten it for the week. That means that while I can't roll on loot, the remaining 7 people are going to have reduced amounts of loot. Now, we don't actually know what the breakpoints are. Like, do you need 2 people? Do you need 6 original people? 4, 2? We don't know like how exactly the loot is going to be restricted based on the amount of players that haven't cleared it for the week. We don't know the exact numbers. The 1 in 7 thing was just an example of what could happen. But we'll be finding out soon enough anyway in 2.45. They didn't give us the exact item level, but I mean, we can pretty much guess. It's going to go to 130 for armor, 135 for weapons. I mean, they don't have to come right out and say it. The only thing they even said regarding item level at all for the final coil was that you'd probably be able to beat the final coil turn 1 with all 110 gear. They specifically said people who go for it right away should be able to do it. The people who are going for it like right when it launches, they should be able to do it. I didn't like the whole separation of people who are going to do it later versus people who are going to do it right away. It doesn't matter. I mean, I was just like, what is the average item level you expect to be able to beat it? Would have been a nice answer, regardless of skill levels. They said turn 2 might be a lot harder, though. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to take that at face value. Let's be real here. They talked about tombstones, item level as well. There wasn't too much to talk about here. It was more of, you know, the recycling of the tombstones and how philosophy is going to be gone. Mythology, you can't get any more. You can convert it next patch. All that stuff. It really wasn't too much in the item level and tombstone dish. It was more of what we've already heard, pretty much. They said like crafters and gather. They said there's going to be new disciples of hand and land accessories in the next patch. They're really, it can be that important because I don't remember. I'm just going off memory right now, guys. I don't have any notes prepared or nothing. I am just got home, just going off adrenaline before I pass the hell out. Let's be real here. So don't worry, I'll be making a better video, a more formal video with better information for it soon. This is just, again, raw opinions, memory, all that. So then they talked about Hildebrand. They talked about how Ultros. They showed us a little preview of the Ultros and Typhoon fight, or Typhon, however you want to pronounce it. Looks pretty fun, but I'm assuming it'll be similar to Gilgamesh in terms of difficulty. They also said that in 2.5 we're going to be getting the 8-armed Gilgamesh that we've been waiting for, not 2.4, 2.5. They also said that it's not really Gilgamesh Extreme, so we may expect that to be of a similar difficulty to Ultros, Typhoon, and the previous Gilgamesh fight. They also said that Hildebrand being in 3.0 was up to us. If we wanted it, they would do it. So we all went, yeah! So I think we'll get Hildebrand in Heaven's Ward in the expansion. And, you know, there's not too much to talk about. There are a few other things that were off topic that they spoke about. One thing was that they said even though the final coil is coming to a close, they do have new 8-man and 24-man raids planned for the expansion. Of course, I mean, they weren't just going to not do that, so that's not really news in itself. What else do I want to talk about? Gold Saucer, that was the one thing, the one big thing I was forgetting right there. They said it's going to be coming between 2.5 and the expansion, or that they didn't say that. They said part 2 of 2.5. So they said 2.5 is going to be broken up into part 1 and part 2. We can assume part 2 is like 2.55. So they said Gold Saucer would be part of part 2. So we still got like a rough 4 or 5 months out before we get the Gold Saucer. But it's going to have chocobo racing with player-controlled chocobos. It's not going to be like Final Fantasy XI where you just watch, maybe throw them a treat or something. They're also going to have triple triad where you're going to be able to collect cards and compete with NPCs and other people, which is a big thing. They said there are going to be mini games, plural, and Yoshi P, well, somebody shouted out snowboarding, and Yoshi P said he's going snowboarding this winter. We don't know the exact details on that, but please look forward to it. Hi. They also talked about the Eternal Bond system. The Eternal Bond system, they just laid out how it's going to work. You apply online. They send each of the partners a bracelet. Both of you wearing the bracelet go to an NPC, and the NPC will help you arrange everything. This is from invitations to location to when to, well, I was going to say where, I already said location. And then you're going to get rings after that, and then you can do an Eternal Bond system. Yes, you are going to have to compete for time slots, because it's pretty much as close to a real wedding as you can get in a game. And that means that you're just, if you know you wanted it on Saturday at 8 a.m. but somebody else had it, then you're just gonna have to pick the next slot. You're gonna have to maybe go for next Saturday or something like that. So it is gonna be a little bit competitive getting that. They also showed off. And I'm gonna combine these next two. They also said that Eternal Bond partners, they don't currently have. They don't when Eternal Bond comes out in 2.45, which was when they said it was gonna come out. That you wouldn't be able to set privileges for a personal house. So let's say that I had a house and my partner wants to be a part of that house. They don't have their own house. I can't set privileges for them. They said they're working on it, but that's kind of something that, to me, that's something that's actually really important for an Eternal Bond system. That makes it almost like, okay, the ceremony is over. And now we just have rings and bracelets and a chocobo piece. That's basically what it feels like to me when you don't have that sort of sense like you can make a home together and things like that. And that's important to people who want to take place in these kind of events. At least I'd imagine it is. So it'll come later, but you're going to have to wait a little bit for it. So on top of that, now talking about housing, as we were told they're going to double the amount of space in for housing. But instead of doing it with just adding more wards, they're going to add subdivisions for the first 8 wards. They went through a little PowerPoint showing us how to do it. You'll have to enter the area from the outside. So if you want to go to the Mists, you got to walk through Lower Lenosha into the Mists. You got to go to the ward that you want. Once you're in the ward, you got to go to the Aetheryte. Once you hit the Aetheryte, you got to pick the subdivision that you want to go to. And then once you're at the subdivision, you got to buy the house. So it's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be, if you ask me. But I don't know. It's more housing, so I'm not going to complain. It's still going to be a competition to see who gets the houses, but at least there's more space. That's all I can ask for right now. I'm going to talk about this briefly. I'm going to make a dedicated video for this topic right here all by myself. I'm going to lean against the wall for this one. They revealed an optional sales store. I don't know what they call it. It's a cash shop, but who the hell cares? It's a cash shop. And yeah, that's going to be a thing starting October 28th. Now, when they first started talking about it, it wasn't that bad. They said no pay to win, which, I mean, come on. If it was, even I would be like, all right, I'm done. I'm walking away from this. But the first few things they revealed were things that made sense. You know, the Fantasias are going to be put onto that store. That's a big one. And then they also said that some previous seasonal events are going to be put on there, which I actually thought was okay. You know, things that people were once able to get, but they're only seasonally available. So if you weren't on at that time, you're sunk. You can't get it anymore. They only showed off a few of them, but I think that's a good idea, actually. It was when they went a little bit more into it that I was like, okay, now we're starting to get a little bit overboard. They showed off several Scions of the 7th Dawn. I believe they showed Ida, Ishtola, and I don't remember who the third one was, but I think it was Papalamo. So they showed them, you know, wind-up versions of the minions of them. And the big Kahuna himself, this was the big one that made me go, oh, a Sleipnir mount. Now, so many people with the Odin Battle Challenge thought that Sleipnir mount was going to be part of an Odin Extreme fight that has not been confirmed yet. But nope, it's going to be on the optional services store, or whatever the hell they're calling it. I don't know. Those two parts kind of annoyed me. I don't like it doesn't see, the thing is, those kind of cash shops don't feel like they're nickel and diming me like a lot of free to play games do. But I still don't like the concept of having both forms of payment. The subscription form of payment, to me, should be the only one that you need, minus certain services like server transfers and character remakes and name changes, which for somehow it was not a priority over a friggin' Sleipnir mount. Should have been the top priority. I'll make a video on it. I'm gonna leave it alone right now. They also talked about a few other things. You know, this Golden Saucer I already mentioned. They're gonna have the Chocobo racing. They're gonna have the Triple Triad. They're gonna have the mini games. They said they're gonna be working on PvP 2.5. We may see some new rules for PvP. I don't know what that means. To me, that sounds like, you know how we have I-80 as the synced item level for frontlines. To me, it almost sounds like, oh, I-100. Maybe that'll be the change. So maybe the games will go a little bit faster because people, it won't matter because everyone's evened out. There's no point in doing that. There's literally no point in doing that. Maybe they'll add a front lines with all gear intact. That's a possibility. That would be pretty cool. I think that would give PvP armor a value again. You know, hopefully they'll be fixing up the wolves then a little bit. They're going to be adding new PvP ranks, new PvP armor. And they said that they are looking into adding new maps, and that's a big deal to me. They need to do certain things to make the PvP more enjoyable. Yes, Frontlines is fun, but it's one map, and the other map that you have has no substance to it. It's an arena battle that has no substance, no rankings. It's not even effective to do for leveling outside of your challenge log, which sometimes time-wise is not even effective. They need to do some PvP changes, and they said they're aware of that, and they do have a long-term PvP plan. We'll see how that ends up panning out. So 20 minutes in this video, I just got through the live layer and my showing floors. It's a Mr. Happy video. Really, what did you expect when you clicked it? Come on. So Moving on, the costume contest was phenomenal. I'm not going to be on this for too long. I had a few friends that were in there. Nariko from Legacy was in there. She was Mako. I don't know. I think it's Coliseum gear is what it's called. I'm sorry if I don't remember. It's the one that's, is it? Yeah. It's got like the shoulder pads here, and then it's got the breast thing right here. That's not the Coliseum gear. I don't know. But was a really good job. Both her and her boyfriend both had them, Kai. And he wasn't in the contest, though. And then Rie, which was the girl who invited me to the fashion show that I showed you guys on my YouTube channel like a week or two ago. She was there as an Argut scholar. She was wearing something else the other night, but she entered the contest as an Argut scholar. So, of course, I had to shout out for both Nari and Rie. But there were some phenomenal outfits. There was a Minfilia. There was a Manfilia, a guy dressed as Minfilia. And I'm just going to say, he pulled it off. I believe that was Minfilia. I would believe that was the real Minfilia. Manfilia is what everyone was calling him. Hey, listen, he pulled it off and he made everyone laugh. He made everybody cheered for that guy. Everybody cheered for that guy. Did a phenomenal job. There, the guest judges were like, you had a Garuda, a monk, a dragoon. We had a couple of Idas, a bunch of scholars, some white mages, 3 paladins. One had a button on his katana that when he clicked it, it lit up. That was great. He won. I'm glad he won something because he was also really good. He won Best in Show, I think, like his actual performance when he came up on stage. You know, he was joking around and he was doing about emotes. He did the Manderville, of course, which probably won the whole thing for him. But costumes were all so good. But the first place winner who won an Alienware PC, that is crazy. There was I thought she was going to be a guest judge, but she ended up being the guest host. She was dressed as Garuda. You know, she had her face painted. She had the head. She had the wings on her back. She had the boots coming up. Looked great. The winner was also a Garuda who looked just as good. A little bit different. The paint that she used was a little bit different. The detail in her legs and her wings, the stencil work was phenomenal. She did a bang out job on that thing, and she deserved that first place win. The amount of work she went through, the struggle, she had struggled even getting on stage. Imagine driving from Chicago to Las Vegas with that thing in your trunk and being afraid about. Deserved every bit of. Everyone who won, you guys deserved everything. Thank you for coming out to the costume contest. Everyone who didn't win, listen, I still loved all your costumes. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy you all dressed up too. It's not all about winning sometimes. Sometimes it's just about, you know, making an appearance. And you guys definitely, everyone who was part of the contest, even the people who didn't get into the contest, I saw a ton of costumes that weren't in the contest. Everyone, phenomenal job, guys. Everybody, good job. Now, last thing I want to talk about, I already showed you the merchandise. I already showed you, I already talked about everything. So, last thing was the closing ceremonies. Closing ceremonies were funny and amazing at the same time. So, there was an art competition. They gave away a few of those winners. The first place winner, apparently he's also participated in the Final Fantasy XI fan festivals back in, I think it was 2007 and 8. It was either 2006 and 7 or 7 and 8. I don't think it was 6 and 8. And he won art contest there too. So he won this one too with a sculpture of Titan fighting a warrior. If he could have somehow done it landsliding, dude, they wouldn't even have held the contest, man. It was still pretty close, but man, it was just great. I guess it wasn't really first place because they had 5 different categories. I don't think it was best in show. I think it was in a very specific category, but he still did a great job with it. Then they moved on to the raffle, which was amazing. They gave away like Logitech bundles, Alienware bundles. They gave away Titan Black graphics cards, like 4 of them. And oh man, people were going nuts when they saw the Titan pop up on the screen. It was unbelievable. I mean, come on, Titan. They did that on purpose. Let's be real. And I really want to send a congratulations to Sly the Fox, who's somebody I met there who was, dude, the guy was just awesome. He was fun to hang around with. He was funny. We got along great, and he won. And I believe it was an Alienware bundle. He got 2 posters, the shirt, he got the headset, and I think he got a keyboard as well. Something along those lines. He got a ton of stuff. I was so happy to see him win because he deserved it, man. He was in such disbelief. He was like walking up on stage just like, am I sure? Am I sure? Am I seeing these numbers right? It was great. There was also a big troll in the middle of that. So, some of you may have heard about Joe Never, who was at the fan festival. Funny guy. Big troll. I mean, that was what he was doing the whole weekend. a Do You Even PvP Bro shirt. We only played 2 games of Frontlines and we lost. One of them we were 8 versus 24 versus 24, and the other one we lost. So it was just a funny troll to me. A lot of people booed him because what happened was they were calling out a number and nobody was getting it. So he decided, oh, I'm gonna troll the whole damn place. And he pretended he won. He got up on stage. Of course, they told him he didn't win, but he was making a whole big scene. But when he went up on stage, everyone went. There's like at least half of them went boo, while the other half was just kind of silent and or cheered. But listen, Joe, he did that on purpose to get those kind of reactions. He's a troll. To me, it was a troll that didn't really hurt anybody, so I was perfectly okay with it. I hung out with him. The dude was really nice. Like, if you actually got to talk to him and have a conversation with him, he was nice. He was just also, you know, he made a scene. He made a lot of noise. And you know what? I was happy to hang out with him for as much time as I did there. Because, you know what? Standing in lines for 4 hours, I would want a show of some sort. And that's what the kind of lines we were dealing with the whole weekend. So, you know, when I have a chance to get a little bit loud myself, I join Joe along with it. Whether it be mandervilling or shouting during PvP or things like that. We just wanted to have fun, man. And you know what? Group killed it. We had so much fun together. It was just awesome. So I don't care if people hate on Joe, because it was just a fun time hanging around with him. It reminds me a lot of the friends I have back here, you know, the good times where, you know, not all of us were going around doing our different jobs. And you know what? Now I'm getting into personal stories. This is something I'll save for like a stream highlight or something like that. We'll see. So after that, they did the raffles. They gave everything away. The grand finale, a concert with the main man of music for Final Fantasy XIV himself, Soken. He brought his band, the Primals, which, you know, just a group of 4. They all came out wearing Ascian armor, so they all looked like Ascians. They had the mask on and everything, and they killed it. They played alternate renditions of all the themes for the Primals: Ifrit, Garuda, Ramu, Leviathan, Titan. Yoshi P said he could play Shiva, but Soken was like, okay, at the Japanese Fan Festival. It's like, no, I want to hear Shiva's. We heard a little bit of it at the 2.4 live letter, but they didn't let us hear the whole thing. It didn't sound like I thought it was gonna, but that's why I wanted to hear it live a little bit. Also, Koji Fox and this woman named Ashley, who sang the female vocals for things like Garuda and Ramu. She did a phenomenal job. Koji, I didn't know Fernhall. That's what we're talking about here. Koji Fox, aka Fernhall. You might remember him as the guy who was doing the live translations during the E3 live letter when it was for, you know, us North American fans in English, and he was also doing it the whole weekend. You know, the whole weekend here. He came on and he killed the show. He did Good King Mogomog the 12th. He did, he did so many. He helped with Garuda. He helped with Titan, which was, that Titan song was by far the most fun. Helped with Leviathan later. Dude, Fernhall, you need to be a permanent member of the Primals. I'm petitioning for it on the forums. Let's do it. But they killed it, man. It was a phenomenal show. The music was great. Everybody was going nuts the whole time, especially when they actually tried. They had a fan come up and do for Garuda. They had and Jake from State Farm. No, his name was just Jake, but I heard somebody shout out from State Farm while we were there. And they had him do like a very rock version, like a very heavy metal version of Now Fall, which is the 2 words from the Garuda song. Well, 2 of the words, the 2 big words that everyone can actually hear in the song when the music actually goes, Now Fall. But he did it like, No Fall. But he did it like way better than that. Like, I can't do it. It was just, it was a great concert. It was a perfect end to a great weekend. And thank you everyone so much for coming out, for supporting the YouTube channel, for supporting the videos. I also want to add a little note to this. I was going around the 3rd day saying this the whole day. Be sure to show support to your other YouTube content creators for Final Fantasy XIV. It's not all me, guys. A lot of people at the fan festival kept calling me special, and honestly, I don't ever look at myself that way. I don't think I deserve special treatment. I don't deserve commendations because I'm Mr. Happy. I don't deserve that. I'm just a guy who makes videos on YouTube. Support other YouTube content creators as well. I'm sure some of you know Miztech. You gotta know Miztech as well, the one who actually makes the short guides. Not less detailed, but more concise. Definitely more concise. Same detail, more concise. You definitely got, just, if you see a YouTube content creator for Final Fantasy XIV that you like, support them. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. It would mean a lot to me, and it would mean a lot to them. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap up a 30-minute video. Seems about accurate. It's about 1/4 of the length of my average YouTube video, so I think that people might complain it's too short. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to make an extended version. But thank you guys so much. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share if you like the channel. I got legit versions of all the videos coming over the course of the next week. A lot of information about the Fan Festival, a lot of information about 2.4. Of course, I'm gonna have my 2.4 guides coming out sometime after 2.4 comes out next week. I'm tired. I gotta eat. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.